It felt like three different films. It felt like three different movies. You know what I mean? But the stuff that did work to me, okay, the stuff with the kids I thought was cool. You know, like the message that he was trying to convey, I dug it. All right, let's do this. A piece of the action concludes the trilogy between Bill Cosby and Sidney Poitier. Yes, that's thunder you heard. That's not for ambiance. There's actually a thunderstorm happening outside. It's hurricane season here in Florida. So yeah, a piece of the action concludes the trilogy with Bill Cosby and Sidney Poitier. This is my least favorite of the three, but I know it had to be done. So if my enthusiasm, if my energy is not that high, I am sorry. As a matter of fact, I just got done watching it again. In the last 15 minutes, I was asleep. And I didn't bother rewinding it. I've seen this movie twice already, y'all. But I didn't bother rewinding it because I know what kind of happens. But this movie puts me to sleep. And I'm going to get to Blacktastic thoughts in a second. I'll be enjoying once again my Blacktastic Media. Thank you, my brother, for joining me in this trilogy. So if you haven't already, check out the other two reviews for Uptown Saturday Night. And let's do it again. I'll leave the link in the description. Also, remember to subscribe to Blacktastic Media. He's in this video with me. And so, yeah, a piece of the action. Oh, man. Okay, I watched Let's Do It Again first, and then Uptown Saturday Night after that, and then I found out there was a third movie. So I said, okay, the first two movies are so good, the third movie has to be a charm. And no, the first two movies were funny as shit, especially Let's Do It Again. That movie had me in stitches. This time around, Sidney Poitier once again directs, and he makes this into, it's part caper film, part message film, part heist film, part mystery. I think even Sidney Poitier didn't really quite know what to do with this, okay? I'm not sure if he wrote it or not, but he tried to make this serious. You can't even put this as a comedy. This probably belongs in the drama section because there's very little comedy in this movie. Even with Bill Cosby being the seasoned comedian that he was, he played the straight guy, he played the serious guy, and he cut flips off of walls and beats up bad guys Batman style. Okay, this is a strange movie to me compared to the other two. So, you know what? I have a guest. I'm not going to be rude. I'm going to give the floor to Blacktastic. My brother, what did you think about a piece of the action? And tell us a little bit about this movie as well.
Yo, once again, kicking it with the homie Rashad G. Now we coming together to do the finale of the trilogy, the trifecta, the third film in this blockbuster conglomerate of black cinema. Yes, starting Sidney Poitier, Bill Cosby, 1977's A Piece of the Action. And let me tell you, this movie opens up real smooth. You got Bill Cosby, he's like a safe cracker. He's like a bank robber, wearing all black, sneaking into this building, using all these gadgets. I mean, he has a little silver box with 4 buttons. He pushes them and it makes the clock go faster. I don't know what that thing should do. It looks stupid. 1977, it looks cool. Now it looks dumb as hell. And then later on, you have another scene where you have my man, Sidney Poitier's character. He's a con man. He does this elaborate prank where he gets these drug dealers caught up thinking there's going to be a raid and robs them of their monies. The maid working for the guy is actually his homegirl disguised as a maid working for him. Boom, gets the money and bounce. Excellent opening. And then midway through the second act, it turns into a Save the Children from the Ghetto Ills of America in Chicago film. Easily my least favorite of the trifecta. Easily the one I watched the least in this trilogy. It doesn't make it a bad film. It's just Uptown Saturday Night has a whole different vibe. And Let's Do It Again is damn near perfect. And those two are kind of like comedies. This movie is not a comedy. It's like, okay, it's our third film. We got to grow up, be mature, have a positive message. I love it. Every black person needs to watch this film. If you're not black, you should watch this film. It's well directed. It's a little slow. The third act, supposed to be this big climax, it is lackluster. But all-star cast, it has great people in this movie. The love interest for Bill Cosby and Sidney Poitier, two of the finest red bone women I've ever seen in my eyesight. Woo, 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 they was fine. Cheryl Lee Ralph is in this movie as a teenager. I've always had a crush on her. She is fine and thick as hell. James Earl Jones, the voice of Darth Vader. The Force is strong with them. You are part of the Rebel Alliance and the creator. Take her away. Love Darth Vader in this movie. Well, my man, James Earl Jones. He plays a detective, and he's hot on the trail of these two guys. No one in the department can figure out who's doing these robberies and these pranks and these elaborate things. He got them. He turns around and flips the script and gets them to do his bidding and work at this help center, this children's place. This is when the plot gets kind of dumb, and it has a few scenes that I like. When there's a scene in the alley with Bill Cosby and Sidney Poitier are attacked by these hoodlums. They whoop their ass. It was a cool scene. The funniest part of this movie, Bill Cosby takes his date to a discotheque. She goes to the restroom to go freshen up her afro. Another sister asks him to dance, nice chocolate chick. And this song comes on and it goes, coochie, coochie, coochie. Yeah, it says coochie, the first 4 lines. And Bill Cosby's doing these dances and looking all stupid, and his face is in her coochie. He gets down and he's dancing and pulling himself up by the collar. It's that 1970s dancing discotheque shit. Bill Cosby had me rolling. He's a great physical comedian. That's about the most comedy you're gonna get in this film. Yeah, it's a feel-good film. Like Lean on Me, one of those black movies that teaches and preaches, and it's really about saving our inner city youth. A lot of these people come from broken homes. They don't know how the proper etiquette to go for an interview and get a job and take care of themselves. And this movie really brings that home. Sidney Poitier is excellent in this movie about teaching the youth to be a better human being, men and women alike. And it's beautiful. Bill Cosby, he's the comic relief, but not enough comedic elements from Bill Cosby in this film. It's a few scenes, but cute love story with him and the lady, Mrs. Whatever, I forgot her name, that works for the center. Cute love story there. The parents of Sidney Poitier's girl, they gave a little bit of comic relief, but it wasn't funny to me. The auntie had a drinking problem. That was about the funniest part, but this movie's okay. It is a excellent film. It's just a big departure from the first two that they did together. You thinking, oh, here's number 3. It's gonna be this. It's gonna be like a heist film. Not really. And the third act is a letdown. I did not like the third act. Damn, I haven't seen this movie in years. What happened? Third act is slow. It's not a big payoff for me. But seeing the city of Chicago was beautiful. There's a few elements that really get to your heart. And there's some scenes where a young man is acting like he's going for a job interview, and he pretty much spills his whole life. And it is holding back the tears. It was good. But easily my least favorite of the 3. It doesn't make it a bad film, but a piece of the action, yeah, it's alright. It's cool. Is it a must watch? No. But it's good black cinema. That's all I can say. Now I'm gonna leave it to my man Rashad G to bring it home. Peace. Thank you for having me on. I love doing these joints with you, brother. Until then, next time, peace. And remember, it's just my point of view.
Okay, you know what? You definitely enjoyed this movie more than I did. All right, I'm gonna keep it a buck. You enjoyed this a lot more than I did. The first time I watched it, I did not like it at all. I said, this movie sucks compared to the other 2 movies. So I wanted to watch it again because I'm like, no, this movie can't be that bad. And when I watched it again, I struggled. I had a hard time getting through it. And now this time around, this is my 3rd time watching it. I still struggle to get through this movie. But there were things that I did enjoy. Like, okay, one thing that we have in common in Blacktastic is the scene at the club where Cosby was dancing with your girl and the song playing which kept saying coochie, coochie, coochie. And the whole time he's down on her shit, acting like he's going down on her. Then he gets up, looks like he's spitting out watermelon seeds. Okay, Cosby. At least Cosby tried to inject some humor in here, but there was very little humor. This movie felt very disjointed. Okay, so like I said, at first it comes across as a caper film. Okay, these two guys are master thieves. Okay, so Cosby's a cat burglar, and Sidney Poitier's character, he assembles this team, and they rob the mob. Damn, that rhymed. I'm a poet, and I know it. So yeah, and James Earl Jones, who's a retired detective, decides to blackmail these two gentlemen into working at a youth center to help these kids and teach them a better way. If not, they go to jail. Out of all the people in the world, why did he choose them? You know, the last person that you want to teach a group of inner city kids is some more criminals how to become criminals. So what made him think that they would be a good fit to help these troubled youths? You know, unless he followed them around longer than that to see, I don't know. Like, he just saw them doing bad shit and said, hey, you guys are going to help these kids or you go to jail. It didn't make sense to me. You know, yeah, so the James Earl Jones character, he was pretty much a phantom in the movie. And this did come out the same year as Star Wars, so he definitely had his Darth Vader Star Wars voice in this joint. And so Sidney Poitier becomes the main one to be like a mentor to these kids. And it felt like 3 different films. It felt like 3 different movies, you know what I mean? But the stuff that did work to me, okay, the stuff with the kids I thought was cool. You know, like the message that he was trying to convey, I dug it. I dug the message, okay, especially to young black youths who are hopeless, you know what I'm saying? I mean, there was a couple of scenes that got a little bit too sappy, a little bit too sentimental, you know, especially the one with the teacher and Cheryl, what's her name? Cheryl Lee Ralph, I think I'm saying her name right. Yeah, the stuff between them where the teacher's constantly crying because Cheryl Lee Ralph makes her feel guilty about being middle class and helping a bunch of poor Negroes and whatnot. I'm like, okay, they're laying it on a little thick. And then at the end of the movie where they finally make up and they become cool, and Cheryl Lee Ralph gives her a Stevie Wonder record. They share a moment where she's sitting there with the records like, oh, and they're like about to cry and shit. And then Raj from Good Times like, man, y'all cut that shit out, man. Come on, let's party. Yeah, Raj from Good Times, not Good Times, but what's happening? You know, hey, what's happening? Well, if you're under 35, you're probably not gonna know what the hell I'm talking about, okay? But Raj was from What's Happening, and yeah, a couple of actors in here that I recognize from other movies. Denise Nichols, the Cosby love interest. Oh my God, I think she was even finer in here than she was in Let's Do It Again. Those eyes, they hypnotize you. And Sidney Poitier's girlfriend, I recognize her from Car Wash. All right, she was the waitress at Car Wash that wore them short ass skirts. Okay, so even though this movie is not terrible, but it was not good either. Well, compared to the other 2 movies, it wasn't that good, and I struggled to get through it. And when you have a story that's not cohesive, when you're kind of all over the place, and you know you don't have matching tones, you lose me. Okay, you definitely lose me. This movie could not really find its footing. It couldn't find its tone, and it couldn't find its identity. You know, it didn't know if it wanted to be funny, if it wanted to be a message film, if it wanted to be a caper film. You know, sometimes I think it was kind of too smart for its own good. That's not a good thing. And when you take the comic relief from the other 2 movies and make him a serious character, it just doesn't work for me. So yeah, piece of the action, still hard to get through. And for the sake of this review, I had to watch it again, but I probably won't watch it anymore. I mean, it's in my collection. I got it just to say I got it, but I won't be watching this anytime soon. I'll stick to Uptown Saturday Night and Let's Do It Again. Piece of the action, I don't care for it. But Blacktastic, I'm glad you enjoyed it, my brother. You definitely enjoyed it more than me. And thank you once again for doing this series with me, man. This has been a blast to do. I thought about you when I said, okay, I want to review these 3 movies, and who better than my man Blacktastic? You know what I'm saying? Like, we have similar tastes in films. We cut from the same cloth, as you say, and I had to have you in this, bruh. So thank you. Once again, subscribe to the channel, Blacktastic Media. And that's all I got, man. Oh, I got to give it a grade. Yeah, piece of the action, I give a C- too, man. Yeah, this is definitely a big step down from the other 2 movies, man. Couple of cool moments, you know what I'm saying? Acting by Sidney Poitier and Bill Cosby always on point. You know, Bill gave me a couple of good laughs. The scene in the club probably gave me the biggest laugh of the whole movie. And when he was hitting on Denise Nichols, I thought that was some funny shit too, man. When Cosby's just improv and just doing Cosby, Let him do that. I think Sidney Poitier should have been like, yo, Kaz, just do what you do and let the camera roll. And I think we could have got a lot more laughs in this movie and gave it a little bit more seasoning, because I was dozing off. I was asleep. I was in my recliner, knocked the fuck out. So anyways, that's it and that's all. C- is what I got. Have you seen a piece of the action? What did you think about it? Comment freely below. If you like and dig this content, hit that like and subscribe, notification bell in the corner. This is Rashad G signing out. See you in the next video.